Hello everyone, welcome to Classical Mat Pilates. My name is Sophia. I'll be guiding you through your practice today. We will be using a magic circle. Let's get started in a supine position. Lower all the way down very mindfully onto your back. Grab onto your magic circle right off the bat. Walk your heels in line with your sits bones and separate your knees hip distance apart, finding the neutral alignment of your pelvis. Place your magic circle in between your thighs, right above your knees. Your palms, place your palms behind your head with your hands stacked, elbows nice and wide. We'll start just by adducting the inner thighs together and then a release. Together and a release. As you do this motion of drawing your inner thighs in, squeezing the circle, feel your abdominals ignite. So each time it feels like you're contracting your abdominals a little tighter as you pull your inner thighs together. Let's go for 8 here. Last 7, 6, awakening the inner thighs. We will go through the 34 classical mat exercises, some modified. We may skip some just for time purposes, but we will be adding the magic circle to pretty much everything. So that's a fun way to change up something that remains pretty much the same usually. Here we go for 2 more. Last 1. Whew, inner thighs burning. Take a deep breath in here. Now let's add a chest lift. Exhale, lift your chest as you gaze at your belly button. Squeeze the circle. Inhale, go a little higher. Shoulder blades hover off the mat. Exhale, we lower down and release the squeeze. Let's repeat that. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, squeeze as you chest lift. Inhale, rise up higher, squeeze tighter. And exhale takes you down. So it's 2 breaths to lift. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale higher. And exhale, take it down. 5 more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift, awakening the abdominals. Inhale higher. Keep your neutral. Exhale, take it down. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift. Inhale higher. Exhale, take it down. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift. Inhale higher. Exhale takes you down. Last 1. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift. Inhale higher. Hold it here. Little pulses forward with your nose. Here for 8. Last 7. 6. We'll add rotation in 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, keep the squeeze, rotate to the left. Come through center, rotate to the right. Center inhale, rotate as you exhale. Keep your hips nice and stable on the mat. Squeeze the circle. As you do so, your inner thighs are working harder, pelvic floor engaged, lower belly engaged. So it actually helps you stabilize the lower half of your body so you can focus on the rotation through the upper trunk. Here we go for 4. Last 3. Think of a rainbow. It's shoulder to hip, shoulder to hip. 2. Last 1 on each side. Ooh, let's meet in center. Pulse it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Inner thighs are burning. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Release the magic circle. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees butterfly open as you reach your arms overhead. Ooh, need to release those inner thighs after all that work. Breathe in. And breathe out. Try again. Inhale. And exhale, breath. All right, from here, bring your wing to your chest. Place your hands on the outer edges of your knees and fold your knees in together like a book, then into your chest for a hug. I like to place the circle on top of my shins and rock side to side. So as we talked about last week, we're incorporating all the principles: breath, concentration, centering, control, precision, and flow as we move through this class. That's the intention here. From here, bring your shins to tabletop. Place your magic circle now in between your ankles. You can flex your feet or point or even point. Place your hands once again behind your head to start. Let your elbows be wide. Brace through your abdominals. On your inhale, send your legs out into a diagonal for 2. And then bring your knees back into tabletop for 2. So out for 2 and in for 2. Out for 2, you can go lower. The lower you go into a diagonal, the more challenging it is. Now let's add some external rotation. So out for 2, heels and toes out, squeeze the circle on the way out, and then parallel your legs as you come through center. So out for 2, external rotation, little squeeze, in for 2. I also like to move from a point to a flex as I extend, and then bring it back in a little point. Let's go for 2 more. Out for 2, and in for 2. Whew. Last one. Out for 2, and in for 2. Hold it here. Breathe in. Exhale, chest lift. From here, moving into hundreds. Reach one hand forward, followed by the other. Begin to pump your arms up and down. It's a breath in for 5 through the nose. Out through 5 through the mouth. Keep going just like that. So you have the circle in between your ankles. You can either hold here, keep your knees parallel, try not to bow them out, or move into that combo. Out for 5 counts, 5 breaths. In for 5 breaths out the mouth. You can also hold it up the entire time. You can hold it in the entire time. You can lower your feet down and continue to move through this motion. Hundreds means we move through this 100 times with the count. If you feel any tension behind your head, one hand or both hands behind your head is fine. Just stay lifted and move with your breath, or you can even lower your head down to the floor. So there's lots of ways to regress or modify this exercise. Regression is not a bad thing whatsoever. Let's go for 30 more counts. It's an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Try not to bob your chest. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands behind your head. Lower your feet down and then lean back. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. All right, from here, be very mindful as you lift your shins to tabletop so that you can grab onto your magic circle. You can keep your knees bent, walk your heels away from you, or straighten your legs, preparing for our first roll up transition towards the top of our mat. Start with your magic circle, raise up above your chest, pull your pinkies in and your thumbs out, and let's pump the magic circle in. So we're getting into our triceps and our chest here by just pushing the magic circle in. Let's go for 8, 7. I feel it in my biceps too. 6. Keep your core engaged. 5, 4. Keep the squeeze in. 3, 2. On 1, keep the squeeze. Move into a chest lift. Gaze towards your toes. And then roll yourself up all the way to seated. Ground down through your ankles. Place the magic circle on the soles of your feet. Take a deep breath in. Scoot your sit bones back. And exhale, round down, take a nice little stretch for your lower back. Moving into our full roll up. From here, you can release the magic circle, or we'll use it in the hand, in between your hands. Reach your magic circle to a hover parallel across your toes or above your toes. Shoulders down your back, pull your belly in as you reach forward. As you exhale, we start to roll down. Slide your shoulders down. Pull your belly in and continue to articulate all the way down to the mat. You can flex your feet as I'm doing, or point your toes. Again, you can modify by even bending your knees. Reach your arms overhead as you inhale, but keep your ribs connected. Exhale, chest lift. Gaze towards your toes and roll up. Anchor your heels down. Keep that C curve as you reach forward. I love the flex. And exhale, point to lower down. So take your variation. Now we move into the flow of this exercise. Squeeze the circle, exhale to lift, finding control, precision, all those things that we talked about last week in this exercise by itself. We'll repeat this 4 more times. And lift, reach, and lower it down. Working on the articulation through the back line of the body, the control through your abdominals, breath assisting in the transition. 2 more just like that. Little stretch with that control and lift. Last one, we'll hold it up. Hold it up. Bring the magic circle over the soles of your feet. Scoot your sit bones back And then once again, just finding a nice little stretch for the hamstrings. Don't soften your knees, but keep your core engaged to protect your lower back. From here, place the magic circle pad on the sole of your right foot. Grab onto the back of the magic circle. As you inhale, sit up onto your sits bones. Lift your right leg off of the floor. Find a little stretch by bending your elbows. As you exhale, curl your tailbone forward. You point through your left toes and slowly articulate down one vertebra at a time, moving into our leg circles next. From here, we'll start with a stretch of the right hamstring and the back line of the right leg. Actually, all vectors of the right leg. Start to bend and stretch your right leg. Bend and stretch against the pull of the magic circle in your hands. Then heel up, toe down. That will get more stretch for the back line of the body. You can always bend your bottom knee if you need to. Or if you do have your bottom leg extended, keep it nice and active. Hips parallel, so all 5 toes point up to the sky. Now pause here. I'm going to bend my knee. Point and flex your ankle. Point and flex. Finding a little articulation through the ankle. From here, place your ring in your right hand. Anchor your left hand to your hip. Ground it down. Abduct your right leg away from your body to the right. But bend your elbow so that you're using your bicep to anchor the hip into the socket. So you're not rolling to the right side. Your left side body is still connected to the floor. Nice stretch for your right inner thigh. You can go a little deeper as long as you can keep your chest and your hips squared to the ceiling. I like a little external rotation. So heel up, toes down. Oh, I have the wall, so that helps a lot too, to kind of stabilize and hold it. Then you're not using too much of the musculature to hold your leg. You can get that intentional stretch. All right, come through center, use your abdominals. Now place your left hand against the ring, right hand to your hip, and draw your leg across your body a couple inches. Anchor down to your right hip. Now getting into the right outer hip, my T-band. Next, we're moving into leg circles, a fun variation today with the magic circle. Release your magic circle, balance it on the ball of your right foot. Open your arms out to a T position. Again, you can keep your bottom leg bent or extend it actively into the floor. Flex your right ankle so that the magic circle balances. Now we move into our leg circles. Draw your leg across your body, down, out to the right, and then back through center while keeping it balanced. We move it into a flow. So it's an inhale, exhale to come back through center. Inhale, exhale to come back through center. So that's variation 1. To make this even more challenging, lift your right leg off of the floor and continue through the movement. Lots of abdominals. Another variation you can take is to just hold a magic circle and draw a circle with your right ankle, with your right foot that mimics the size of your magic circle. So it's more like a visual. But it's all about the hip here, right? Let's reverse it, other direction. We need to move in both directions. You can soften your knee if you need to, but again, the intention is to get that lubrication of the hip joint, swirling the hip joint bone in the socket. All right, lots of abdominals here to stabilize. Let's go for 2 more. Last one, hold it here, grab onto your magic circle, point your right toes, and lower your right leg down to the ground for 4. Very slow and controlled. 3, try not to arch. 2, last one, inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, chest lift, roll up for transition, take a forward fold stretch. Now loop your left ball of your foot to the padded part of the circle. Bend your elbows as you lift your left leg, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, we begin to lower down 1 vertebra at a time into a supine position. Arriving at the leg circle position on our left leg. We start with the bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Again, heel up, toes pointing downward. Bend your right knee if you did on the other side, or if you feel a little tighter. It's very common to feel tighter on one side than the other. We do have a dominant side. We are spending a lot of our days these days seated for whatever reason. So There may be some more imbalances. Just be curious about that without attaching any word or definition or idea to it. Just be aware of it. Be a student of your own body, of your own practice. All right, pause here. Point and flex your left ankle. Point and flex. Here we go. That feels nice, like a little pedal. We would do this on the one-to chair seated, right? That pedal of your foot. Pedal. All right, from here, left hand to your circle, right hand to your hip. Bend your elbow as you abduct your left leg away to the left side. Think heel out, toes in. Whew. Nice stretch of your inner thigh. Try not to let your right knee bow out. It's really easy to keep it nice and steady or straighten your leg. Now right hand to your circle, transition left hand to your hip, and guide your leg across the midline of your body a couple inches until you feel that IT bend stretch, then breathe into it. It's pretty intense, so breathe into it, soften your face. All right, from here, let's get into leg circles. Let the circle balance, arms out to a T, leg circle position across your body, down, out to the left, and then back through center. Continue down, around, exhale, back through center. Try not to hike your left hip. I taught myself to do it. Keep your side body nice and long on both sides. So if you need to reduce the how big the circle is, reduce the range of motion and notice if you can stabilize a little easier. Straighten your bottom leg or hover it if you did on the other side. Let's go for 2 more here. This direction. Now the opposite direction, around. And if you're hiking your left hip up, you might need to angle your circle a little lower as well. That's another way you can modify. Belly pulled in. Let's go for 3, 2, last one. All right, from here, remove the circle, point your toes, and lower your leg down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, breath. Exhale, roll up for transition. Squeeze the circle as you lift. Last forward fold stretch here. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, inhale, come up to your sit bones, scoop it forward so you have some space behind you. Moving into rolling like a ball. Let's try the circle today. Let's try behind the calves, right here. So heels together, toes apart, hands to your shins. It's a little push against the circle, not too much though, it's not what it's about. Sit up nice and tall, and then round through your lower back. Can't see it, but this is my range of motion for my flexion in my lower mid back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, start to roll back onto your shoulders and then come up to that seated position starting. So it's a roll back and forward, pausing at the top. You can release your hands. Try it without your hands. Try it without the momentum of your legs because you have that magic circle there. Right? It makes it a lot more challenging. You can release it. This is not for every body, so if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Just hold this position for 4, 3, we'll meet on our backs in 2. Last one, start to transition very mindfully onto your back, whether it was through the roll or the lower down like I just did. Walk your heels in towards your glutes, grab onto your magic circle, and place your the padded part behind your head, right at your occipital ridge. It's that little ridge space between your skull and the top face of your neck. Place it right there. You can lower your head down for a moment. As you stack your palms on the pad above your forehead, palms stacked. Narrow your elbows in so that your shoulders organize on your back. From here, lift your right shin to tabletop, followed by your left. So you're pressing into the ring a little bit, but not too much, so you don't feel any tension on your neck whatsoever. It should just be supported. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chest lift, gaze at your belly button. Elbows point towards your thighs, shoulders lift high off the mat. From here, moving into single leg stretch. Right knee remains in as you send your left leg out to a diagonal. And then you switch it and switch it. It's an inhale, inhale, followed by an exhale, exhale. Keep going, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, just like that. So this, the ring helps you remain in this flexion without putting too much work into your arms or into your neck like we usually do. You can rest your head into the ring. Focus on breathing in, then out, out. Narrow your elbows so your triceps are working also. Let's go for 4. We'll add some rotation to crisscross in 3, 2, on 1, add a crisscross, elbow to knee, and then transition to the other side, elbow to knee. Like to tap and tap. Keep your hips stable though, so you're not rocking your entire body side to side. You're focusing on finding that precision through the duality of this exercise. Arms and lower body and upper body all working together. Here for 4. Last 3. We'll meet in center in 2. On 1, in center, pulse it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted, then lower your head down, lower your right foot to the ground, followed by your left. Lift your head and lower your head back down to the ground. Ooh, from here, the ring will remain in your arms. Bend your elbows to start, so your fingers point to the sky. Lift your left shin to tabletop, followed by your right. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, chest lift. Raise your ring if your chest lift prevents you from lifting up as high as you can. But keep your elbows narrow. Moving into double leg stretch. On your inhale, stretch your arms into a diagonal, your legs out. Exhale, pull it back into center. Inhale out. Little squeeze on the circle if you can. Exhale, pull it in. Option to stay here, or you can do the same thing that we did. Legs out and legs in, focusing on the lower body. You can also lower your head down and just extend your legs out and pull it in. Let's go for 4. And in. Last 3. And in. Ring hovers over my shins. Last 2. Last 1. Pull it in. Lower your head down. Hug your knees into your chest. Knees together, or rather feet together, knees apart. As you rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Rocking the circle to the right side. Little scoop massage of your lower back against the mat. And then rock to the other side. All right, from here, transition, roll up, straighten your legs out or keep your knees bent. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chest lift. All the way forward, take a forward fold stretch if that feels good to you. And then inhale, sit up to a nice seated position. I'm going to face you for the next exercise, which is our spine stretch, and we'll get right into soft from there. So separate your feet a little wider than your hips. Reach the ring forward. Notice it's like a magic mirror right in front of your face. Not higher, your hands not too high, so it's not way too high above your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze through your pinkies. As you exhale, sit up nice and tall. Soften your knees if you need to. And then pull your belly in as you flex forward in the crown of your head, in between your knees, as you stretch your arms parallel forward in front of your toes. Use your inhale to stack yourself up to seated. And exhale, repeat. Inhale up. And exhale, forward. All right, keep doing just that. So a few things to keep in mind. As you move into the spine stretch, your lower back remains exactly where it is, and you're focusing on your ribs and up to move into that flexion position, and then roll and stack up to that seated. Exhale, up and forward, reaching your arms forward instead of down, and then roll up as you inhale. Keep going just like that 2 more times. Soften your knees if you need to, if you feel like your hamstrings are too tight. Forward and down. And then inhale to scoop up. From here, open your legs out a little wider. So think a little wider than your mat. Soften your knees if you need to. Moving into spine twist. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Soften your knees if you need. I'm going to actually sit onto a towel because I feel like my hamstrings are tight. My lower back feels tight because of that. And so I need a little extra lift to tip my pelvis full forward. All right, now I'm ready. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, swivel on the axis of your spine towards your right thigh. And take 2 exhale breaths. to pulse a little further. Inhale, come through center, that swivel. Exhale to the left, two exhales. So breathe in through center, breathe out to rotate, inhale center, exhale rotate, Keep your gaze in the center of your ring, so you're not using your arms to rotate. That's the tendency of what happens. Instead, you're using the rotation that you have, and your obliques contract to get you a little deeper. Let's go one more on each side. And then we'll get into our saw. So it's a combo spine stretch and that spine twist that we just did. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, rotate to the right. From here, like spine stretch, think of arching up and over, diving the crown of your head towards your right knee. As you do so, flip your left hand down, your right hand up, as if we were doing the saw, pinky towards your right pinky toe. Then inhale, we scoop up, come through center, and repeat to the left side. Swivel. Exhale, scoop and round down. Flip your right hand down, your left hand up, and try to tap your left pinky finger with your fingers. Inhale, come up. Exhale, rotate, and we flow. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate as we flow. Keep going just like that. A few things to remember. Notice if your feet are jutting back or forth as you move into this rotation. There's a tendency for the right hip to pull back, the left hip to pull back as you face the left. Keep your heels anchored. Again, it's all about abdominals here. Rotate, dive down, and then stack back up through center. Rotate, dive down, gazing towards your left underarm as you do so, gazing towards your right underarm as you do so. Whew. Let's go two more on each side. And center, rotate, and center. Last one, rotate, and center. Last one, rotate, and center. I'm going to face the front of the room. Guess how we're going to get back down? That's right. We're going to move through our roll down. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, we roll down one vertebra at a time. I'm going to scoop my heels in. Move that so you can see me. All right, from here, take a full body stretch. Let's bend our knees. Bring your feet a little wider than your mat, knees in, feet out. And let's take a supine twist. Let your knees fall to the left. You can release your circle for now. Try to dive your right inner thigh towards the mat so you're getting that stretch in your quad, the top of your thigh. And then come through center and do the same thing to the other side. Again, think of diving your left inner thigh down, so you're pressing it down so you get that nice stretch on your quad and your hip. Let's do it one more time each side because that feels so good. To the left, gazing right, and then to the right, gaze left. All right, let's move into our hip sway. So parallel your inner thighs, and from here, place your bring your right shin to tabletop first, and followed by your left. Place your circle in between your inner thighs, palms out to a T position. Narrow your inner thighs parallel to one another. You can flex or point your feet or just let them dangle. Moving into hip sway. On your inhale, sway your knees to the right. So unlike supine twist, we're not releasing all the way. Our shoulders are anchored on the floor. Squeeze the circle, exhale, use your left oblique to return the weight of your legs back to center. And then we repeat to the other side. So inhale, sway to the left. Exhale, squeeze to come back in through center. Continue that. We move into a flow. Notice if your knees drift apart. Keep them in the same line. So take a peek and see if one knee is drifting back. Align them so that they are parallel and mirroring one another to come back. You have the option to stay here, to level up. Place your ring in between your ankles and do the same thing with straight legs. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to center. Side to side. Two more on each side. To the right. And center. To the left. I'm gazing like supine twist, opposite direction to my legs, just for variation. Remove the magic circle. Plant your feet on the floor. Reach your arms overhead, your toes forward. And take a full body stretch. Let's move into our roll up once again. Ring over your chest, inhale, breath. Exhale, chest lift. Roll all the way up. We're gonna add all those little hidden chest lifts and forward folds in between each exercise because we can. Come up to a seated position, hold the ring in your hands and cross your shins. I'm gonna face you. Let's do a little magic circle ring of fire exercise. So start with your ring lower than your, right in line with your chest, shoulders down your back. Pulse the ring in with your pinkies, in and in for 8. Sit up nice and tall as you can. Think belly off of your thighs. Try not to bend your elbows, it's hard. I'm having a hard time doing it as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, ring in line with your chest, pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now a halo above your head, pulse it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now a UFO right over your head. This is more like a halo. Elbows narrow, parallel, pulse it in. Pinkies in for 8, 7, 6, 5. We'll repeat that whole sequence, moving downward. 3, 2, 1. 8 more like that. 8, 7, 6. Shoulders down your back. Whew, I feel my delts here. 5, 4. Try not to sink into your seat. So sit up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. Now up above, pulse it in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now out in front of you, like a cab driver in line with your chest. You have your wheel in your hand. 8, 7, 6. Feel my chest working every time I pulse my fingers in toward one another. 3, 2, 1. Now low position. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Release your circle. Roll your shoulders back, forward. Since we have our circle, we had to do ring of fire. So from here, try not to use your hands as you come up to kneeling position. Place your ring out in front of you as you find your quadruped, all fours. Spread your fingers wide, root down through your fingertips and knuckles. Align your knees below your hips. Inhale as you lengthen your spine forward and back like a tabletop, firm through your core. Exhale, round your back into cat position, round. Lift your mid back to the sky. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, a little extension, or remain in your neutral position. And exhale, cat. Again, inhale to a little neutral or an extension. And exhale, cat. All right, from here, lower down to your forearms. Might as well do a little forearm work today. Not in the repertoire from the original Joseph Pilates Centrology, but since we have the opportunity, why not? Press your forearms into the ground, spread your fingers wide, and fill in the space between your shoulders. You can remain on your knees or tuck your toes. We're just gonna hold for 8. Last 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm gripping the floor with my fingertips. 3, 2, on 1, pedal forward and back. 8. Whew. Nice articulation for the bottoms of your feet. Stretch for your toe knuckles. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Lower to your knees, untuck your toes, lower your hips to the floor. Preparing for a swan variation today. We'll use the magic circle. So place the circle out in front of you. Stack your palms on top of the pad and gaze down in between your biceps. Shoulders plug down your back. If you need to, scoot the ring in. So it shouldn't feel like you're reaching too far in front of you. It should feel relatively easy, relatively. Press into your pubic bone and the tops of your feet. That's very important to brace your core. Now from here, inhale, start to press down on the ring as you peel your chest up onto your first rib. Exhale, you center back down to starting position. So it's an inhale to push and lift. Exhale to recline back down. Continue that. Inhale to push and lift. Notice how my shoulders go down my back. Keep them down as you fold forward and then release at the bottom. That's your neutral. Inhale up for 2. And exhale down for 2. Your gaze goes along with your spinal extension. So at no point are there wrinkles in the back of my neck. I'm not cranking my neck into any extension of my cervical spine. It's along for the ride. It's all about my upper back doing the work here. So 2 more. Up for 2 and down for 2. Last one. Up for 2. Hold it here. Just hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Release your hands down. Place your hands underneath your forehead as you lower your forehead down to them. Toes together, heels apart. You can wide your hips side to side as we move into our next exercise. Option to keep your forehead on your palms, or option to lift your chest, narrow your elbows in to more of a triangle shape, a wide triangle. Shoulders plug down your back. You're not sinking your ribs in. You actually lift up, bracing your core. Press down through your pubic bone and the tops of your feet. Moving into single leg kick. Start with your left knee bent, since I'm facing you in this direction. Left knee bent. Pulse your thigh off of the ground twice. Keep your thigh lifted as you straighten your leg and then lower your leg back down. Notice how my left leg was immediately longer than my right because I reached back. Same thing on the right side. So bend your right knee, double pulse, keep it lifted, straighten, and then lower it down. Now they're in one line. Repeat that. Bend, pulse, pulse, straighten, and lower. Bend, pulse, pulse, straighten, and lower. My toes are touching the wall now. That's how long they've gotten. Stretch, and lower. Ooh, now it's on top of this. Do you see that? How that actually happened? That's so neat. Pulse, pulse, and reach. Now there's a little bit more space in my lower back. We can move on to our next exercise. I will use the ring today because I have it. Place your ring at your lower back. Hands on top of the pads, let your elbows fall down. For a double leg kick, bring your heels together, toes apart. We double lift our thighs off of the floor. Then you grab onto the magic circle, start to lift your chest as you extend your legs back, pulling the ring apart. Exhale, re-bend your knees, lower your opposite cheek down, shoulders glide towards the mat. Now we flow it. We lift the thighs first. Keep them lifted, reach back, and then transition to the other side, lowering your thighs down. Lift and pulse like we did single leg stretch, glutes engage. Then lift up and lower back to the other side. I'm just going to do this one more time. So double pulse, lift and lower. And from here, place the ring by your side, rest your hands on your palms, forehead on your palms, and rock your knees right and left like a windshield wiper or a little figure 8. That feels nice. From here, slide your hands underneath your shoulders. You can move into high plank or from your knees. But inhale, press up, high plank or all fours. Lower down to all fours, walk your knees forward. Let's do a child's pose. So toes together, knees apart. Sit your hips towards your heels and let your forehead rest on the floor. After all of that spinal extension work, it's important to do a flexion. So forward fold, a child's pose, or even a pike or downward facing dog. Walk your hands off of your mat to the left side, stretch your right side body. And then walk your hands off of your mat to the right side, stretch your other side body, right side body, left side body now. All right, come through center, one more breath. Then use your abdominals to roll up to seated on your heels. Swing your legs around and have a seat on your glutes. All right, from here, moving into our neck pull. Neck pull is similar to rolled up, however, it is more challenging. So option to use your ring. You can place your ring behind your head, and straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you lean back. Once you can't lean back any further in that hinge with the flat back, you point your toes around your spine and lower down onto the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, squeeze the ring. Try not to pull on your head. You're going to use your abdominals. Squeeze, lift, and use your abdominals to roll up. So you're not pulling on your head necessarily, but you are squeezing your arms using your chest fold forward. So neck pull, it sounds like we're pulling on the neck, but we never are pulling on the neck. And then come up back to a seated position. So you have the option to stay here to make it more challenging, hands behind your head, sit up nice and tall, lean back with a flat back, and roll down. Keep your hands behind your head, breathe in. Exhale, chest lift. Use your abdominals to lift up. It's very challenging. You can reach one hand or both hands forward. Once you can return your hands behind your head, do so and continue the exercise. So those are your variations. You can also move into arms extended. That's another great variation. So flat back. Then we crank to roll down. You can reach your arms overhead like roll up and go much further. And then exhale, lift. Hands behind your head and fold. Lots of different variations here. One more for me. Take a deep breath in, sit up tall. Exhale, lean back. And then scoop and round down. Whew. Remove the ring from behind your head. Lower your head down to the ground. Gaze right, gaze left. Reach your ring over your chest. Bend your knees one at a time. Find your neutral position. From here, right shin to tabletop, followed by your left as we move into our scissors and bicycle. From here, straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, chest lift. Place your ring against your shins. Keep your right shin against it as you lower your left leg down. And then switch. Left shin taps. And switch. This is the bicycle, or rather the scissors here. So the ring is just acting like a prop so that you know where to stop. Let's go for 4. We'll move into bicycle in 3, 2, on 1, bicycle. Bottom knee pulls in as you lower your top leg up, and then you switch and repeat. So it's like your bicycle, but you land in your scissors. That's important. Land, oops, in your scissors. I lost it there. Land in your scissors. And now we reverse at the opposite direction. So top leg goes forward and down, scissors. That's 4, 3, 2, last 1, both legs up. Let's hold and reach for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Place your ring on the outside of your thighs. Hands behind your head as you lower your head down, then lower your feet down to the ground. Whew, that was quite challenging, actually. So now the ring is above your thigh or above your knees on the outside of your thighs as we move into our bridge work, getting into our outer thighs now. Hands down by your sides, chest nice and open. Heels are in line with your sits bones. Walk your heels in. You could touch them if you reached far enough. Okay, from here, take a deep breath in to prepare. Press it out on the circle so there's a little pressure right off the bat. Exhale, imprint your lower back to the ground. Start to lift articulate your spine off of the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Find your highest point. Send energy out of your knees. Brace your abdominals once again. Root down through your hands and feet, lift high. And then exhale, take it down 1 vertebra at a time. Now we make it a little bit more of a flow. So we roll up for 2 and lower down for 2. I love the exhale as we lift and lower. That's where the exertion is. So inhale to bottom, exhale to lift up for 2 and lower down for 2. And again, it's about spinal articulation here. So we're not hinging. We're rolling through the vertebra up and rolling through the vertebra down. Avoid looking side to side when your hips are in the air because there is a little bit more pressure on your skull. You don't want to tweak anything in your neck. So just listen and repeat this 2 more times. Up for 2 and down for 2. A little pressure on the ring always. We're going to hold it up for 2 and hold. Now press it out on the circle, out. Getting into our outer hips here, out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Do you feel your outer hips? I do. 3, 2, keep the pressure out. Now pulse your hips up and up for 10, 9, 8, 7. Pressure on the circle out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap your hips down, a hinge, a break at your hips, and lift straight up. So we tap down and lift. tap, and lift. We'll go for 10 here. Always pressure on that circle. We feel it in our glutes today. Active through your arms. Avoid rounding your chest. We tend to do that when we start to cramp up and feel the pain. But let your chest be soft, shoulders unround. Your face is nice and soft as well. Remove the wrinkles in between your eyebrows. Let's go for 4. I'll stay lifted in 3, 2. Stay lifted on 1. Now pulse the ring out for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the pressure out. Pulse your hips up for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Stay lifted. 3, 2. On 1. Stay lifted. Rise up onto your tippy toes and lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Articulate down. That last articulation is so important to loosen up all that musculature. Once your pelvis lands, hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. We will be doing a little bit more outer hip work, and then we'll move into a stretch. So extend your legs out. Reach your arms overhead, or place your ring to your left side, and then bend your back knee to roll onto your left arm. Moving into our side lying work, we'll get into more outer hips today. From here, we will use the ring out in front of us. So place the ring in front of your chest with your top hand on top of the ring. To make it more challenging, and the variation I'll take today is to plant the bottom forearm to the ground. Avoid sinking into your shoulder. Keep it nice and active. And then your top hand is still onto the magic circle. Bottom knee is bent for stability. Top leg is extended. We'll start with some leg circles. Point your toes. Sweep your toe forward, up, and back. Will I touch my water bowl? Yes. Oops. And then bring it back in. So up, top, and back. That's it, just like that. So as you push down on the circle, you're engaging your lats, keeping them down your back. So you're working that musculature of the back line of your body. Your bottom arm is like a side plank. So you're not leaning into your side. You're using your obliques to stay lifted. In this way, everything is working. Your bottom hip is working to stabilize your body. And then we're doing leg circles. So, top leg is working oh so hard. Here we go for 2 more to this direction. And we'll repeat the other direction. So sweep it back, up, and around. These don't need to be massive circles. They can be if you can keep everything connected, but they can be tiny, size of a ball, a little tennis ball. Here we go for 4, 3. We'll do leg sweeps in 2. On 1, come back to hip height, flex your ankle, sweep your shin forward. Can you touch the circle? Then point your toes and sweep it back. So flex, bring it forward, point, sweep it back. Notice if your leg is starting to sink down. You want it nice and high in line with your hip. If it causes you to jut your hip up when you do the kick forward, don't go as far. Here we go for 4. Stop there. Make sure you go back. Get the extension of your hip. Shoulders down your back. That's 2. And final 1. Hold it back with a little lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Woo. All right, from here, roll onto your back for a moment, or let's do something else. So come up to a seated position. Keep your left knee in. Send your right leg back. So we're in a mermaid sit. Place your ring in your left hand, right hand out to a T. If this seated position does not work for you, cross your shins and come to a seated on your sits bones. But since it's accessible from our side line, we'll do it this way today. Moving into mermaid, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reach up and over towards the right side. As you do so, push down on the magic circle, keeping your shoulder out of your ear. And we come up as we inhale and go down as we exhale. So this is getting into our obliques. It's also a nice side body stretch. Up and over. We would do this on the reformer, which, by the way, next week we'll be able to meet live at the Slow Studio and do mermaid on the reformer all together. How glorious will that be? All right, 1 more like this. Up and over. Let's hold it down, hold it down. Keep your sit bones connected as much as possible. And then come back up, remove the circle, right hand down, left hand up and over for a nice stretch of the left side body. Arms overhead. Use your abdominals to switch your seated position. Lower your hands down. Let's get into our sideline work first before we get into that mermaid. So right forearm is your foundation. Set up yourself so that your hips are towards the back of your mat. You're nice and even on your side body, lifting out of your bottom rib cage, shoulder down your back, ring out in front of you. When you're ready, extend your top leg out, moving into leg circles. Forward, up, back, and down, just like that. Get all 4 points of the circle. So forward, up, back, and through center. Try not to lower your leg too much. Keep it in line with your hip. Try not to rotate your chest. That's something that can happen here too. So you're staying, imagine, in between 2 panes of glass. Smushed in between 2 panes of glass. You can always lower yourself down and focus on the leg circle just with one hand on top of your circle, keep your abdominals working, keeping your core engaged so that you can stabilize your chest a little bit more. Let's go for 2 more. Final one, and then we need to reverse the direction. So back up, out, and through. Up, out, and through. Woo. Very challenging. Also good for your body. Everything is working here. See, it's nice to use the video as well, because then you can check in and see your alignment, see where you're starting to slack. All right, from here, flex your foot, kick forward, and then point your toes, sweep it back. So flex forward, sweep it back. Flex forward, sweep it back. Let's go for 4 more, just like that. Flex forward, and sweep, flex, and sweep. Press down on that ring, but you're getting into your obliques as well and your lats. Here we go, 1 more. And back, little pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Try not to drop your head either. 3, 2, on 1. Bend your knee, lower down behind you. So we're getting into that Z sit right away. So we should have done on the other side. And come up to a seat. All right, mermaid sit. Now ring into your right side, far enough away from you so that when you lean over, it's not smushed up. You don't smush your shoulder interior. Left arm up to a T. Breathe in. Exhale up and over. Remember, you can always cross your shins instead and come up to a seated position with your shins crossed. Crisscross applesauce style. Up and over. And then up. Shoulders down your back. Up and over. Away from your ears and up. That's it. Try not to drop your head here either. Staying in a nice long line of energy. Last 2. And up. I'm trembling when I do that because I'm pressing so hard, working the obliques so hard, trying not to let go of anything else. And up. Last one, we'll hold. Hold. Think of it as a stretch, but you know you're working so hard. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to a seat. Release the ring down. Left hand down, right hand up. This is indeed a stretch. Press through the side body. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come up to center. Arms up overhead. Let's swivel our hips forward. I'm not going to use my arms to scoot forward. Look to use the abdominals as much as possible. And grab onto your circle from here. Sit up nice and tall. Loop your right foot onto the magic circle. Send your right leg up towards the sky. Moving into our teaser prep. Sit up nice and tall onto your sits bones. As you exhale, you roll down. Walk your heel in, your back heel in. Once you get to your right beneath your shoulders, scoot your belly in and roll it back to seated. So we round down. Once your lower back touches the mat, exhale to come back up. So it's like we would do it on the push through bar somewhat on the Cadillac, mimicking it somewhat. But we're getting into our abdominals. We're getting a nice little stretch. You can bend your knee and try it with bent knee. It's not as easy. Or you can, of course, do this in traditional variation without the magic circle. All right, come up to a seated position. Left leg up. From here, we roll back. And then roll up. Sitting up nice and tall. That's the point of teaser. At the top, you get that flat back. We roll down and roll up. Try not to bring your shoulders into your ears. Release your hands if you like. Roll down and roll back up. 2 more. Roll down and roll back up. Last one. Let's roll it down. Hold it down. Walk your heels in. Hug both knees into your chest. Whoo, rock side to side. Of course, you can go into traditional teaser. All right, from here, last transition up to seated. Straighten your legs out. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, chest lift. And roll yourself up into the last forward fold. We're gonna meet in high plank, high push-up position. Come to a seat. Try not to use your hands until you need to, into all fours. We won't use the ring anymore. We had a lot of fun though with it, right? Flatten your palms against your mat. Press into your hands. Soften your elbows back slightly. And then step back 1 leg at a time to high plank. Hold here for 10. Last 9. Avoid sinking into your shoulders. Drag your heels back. Engage your glutes. Pull your belly in nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Tuck your chin to your chest. Lift your hips to the sky into a pike pose. Drop 1 heel down, bend into your opposite knee, and then switch it out. All right, moving into control balance front. On your inhale, shift forward, high plank, high push-up position. Lift your right leg up, march your right knee into your chest. Send your right leg back, high plank, tuck your toes. Left leg up, knee into your chest. Send it back and lower down. Now we march it out, right knee in and back, left knee in and back. So the purpose of this exercise, of course, is abdominal work, shoulder stability, but you're trying not to lift one hip up as you march your knees in. So everything here stays static in the upper body, and you're just working through your hips to pull your knee into your chest. Here we go for 4. Last 3, we'll take high plank in 2. On 1, high plank, hold it here, breathe in. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Lift your hips to the sky, pike position. Bend into your knees 1 at a time. Walk it out. All right, from here, soften your knees. Walk your hands towards your feet at the back of your mat. Hang heavy in the forward fold. Let your arms dangle or grab onto your elbows. Bend your knees so much that your belly literally rests on your thighs. So you're releasing your lower back. Keep your belly engaged. Let your arms dangle. Shift your weight to the soles of your feet. And as you inhale, rather the tops of your feet. And as you inhale, slowly start to roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Think of pointing your pelvis down so that it can be the base to stack the rest of your vertebra 1 at a time. Coming up to standing, shoulders and your head are the last thing to rise. Roll your shoulders down your back. You can't see me now, but inhale, your arms up overhead. As you exhale, open your chest, a little upper back bend. Inhale, your arms overhead. Exhale, parallel your arms parallel to the floor. Toe heel your feet, hip distance apart. Rise up onto your tippy toes. Let's just do a little balance here on your tippy toes for 4. 3, steady yourself. 2, on 1, start to sink your heels and your hands. Heels to the floor, hands by your sides. Coming to a standing position, root down through your feet, energy out of your fingertips, close your eyes. Thank yourself for dedicating this time on your mat to move and breathe in this classical movement with our magic circle, new ways to experience traditional exercises. I thank you for allowing me to guide you. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Blink open your eyes and give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining me today, Classical Mat. I hope to see you the rest of the week in our last week of virtual classes. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the studio soon. Bye.